How do you add over $100,000 in cash collected and $30,000 in monthly recurring revenue in just a single week? I know it probably sounds impossible, but that's why this video is extra important to you, because here is how we did it. And it wasn't with new ads. There was no flashy launch. There was no discounts. There was just 3 changes that completely rewired the business I'm going to walk you through. Because the first one is this business was already doing pretty well. Leads were coming in, calls were getting booked, revenue looked solid on paper, but the reality really was the growth wasn't clean. Sales were inconsistent, trust with prospects was shaky at best, and the sales pipeline leaked at every single stage. And it looked like scale, but it felt like chaos to the coach that came to us. And this is where the first lever we pulled was the offer, because most coaches think that the only way to get more sales is to drop their price or throw in another bonus. And that's wrong. We upgraded the offer so that it was a no-brainer. And here's how we do it. We clarify the outcome. Instead of selling coaching hours, we sold the transformation. We simplified the deliverable. So there was no bloated menu. There was just the essential steps to get the result. And then we stacked the guarantees and the risk reversal so the prospect felt like the risk was on the coach, not on them. It was a no-brainer for them to say yes to, because when your offer is positioned like this, it shifts the buying decision and it goes from something like, should I do this, to how fast can I get started? And that one shift alone raised close rates across the board and set the foundation for the $100,000 week. But the second lever was building what we call the binge bank. And this is where most coaches try to build trust one-on-one, or they don't even know how to build trust, and they don't know how to do it at scale. So instead, we created just a handful of content assets that did the heavy lifting for the sales team. Because most people think that when their sales are not closing on the calls, that they need to change the sales scripting. They need to be able to have their reps do a better job on those calls. And that is likely true as well. However, I always want to turn sales teams into bears with salmon jumping in their mouths. And I do that by making the marketing a hell of a lot better. And this is where we can do things such as client case study videos that actually showed proof, short tear down clips, breaking down the actual strategies used, authority content that made them binge before they even ever booked a call. If you've made it this far, seriously, thank you. I appreciate you being here. But real quick, if you are a coach or consultant who wants to be able to build a self-growing business without bloated team, a big ad budget, or working more than 3 hours a day, then make sure that you hit subscribe, because everything I share here is built for founders just like you, because it's likely that you are done chasing bigger and ready to build better. So let's get back to it. Because when we had this set up, by the time the prospects actually hit the calendar, they're not cold strangers. They've already trusted the brand. So there's no more chasing. There is just a clean inbound demand from people who have already believed, which makes sales a hell of a lot easier. Third lever was fixing the leaky points in the sales pipeline. And so this is where we need to tighten up just a few key things that make a massive difference. When the show-up rates go from 54% to 91%, and I've done a whole episode showing you exactly how to do this with better call framing, confirmation videos, and really important nurture touch points, when we are able to have a call flow that is structured in the conversation, so it is being able to have belief built in the 3 areas where they know they can do it, they know the process works for them, and they know it'll work personally for them, then we layer on top of that the follow-up. So instead of just checking in, we build a structured, value-driven follow-up that closes the loop on undecided leads. Where most people are now blaming their offers or their ads when sales are flat, the reality of it is the leads are usually leaking inside of the sales process. And that's why it's just fix those, revenue jumps without a single extra dollar ad in ad spend. And that's where the result is, $100,000 in cash collected in 1 week, along with a $30,000 increase in monthly recurring revenue. With no new traffic, no discounts, no fancy funnels. There is just a better offer, scalable trust, clean sales pipeline. Like seriously, this is what I want you to take from it. How can we do $100,000 cash collection? How can we also then bolt on $30,000 of monthly recurring revenue in just 7 days? It's literally these 3 things: a better offer, scalable trust, and a clean sales pipeline. they're the things you need to be able to focus on. Because the lesson I want you to walk away from this is you don't need to work harder to scale. You don't need a new funnel or a viral ad campaign. You need an offer that's irresistible, a system that builds trust at scale, and a sales process that does not leak. I've said it a couple times. I'll say it again because it's so goddamn important. You just need an offer that is resistible. You need to be able to build trust at scale, and you need a sales process that does not leak. That is how we are able to do this. That is all you need. And if you want to be able to see how this would work inside of your business, click the link somewhere in the description, book in a free demo call. This is where we'll break it down for free, step by step, showing exactly where the leaks are in your pipeline and how we would actually fix them. Worst case scenario, you take the plan that's probably better than most coaching programs you've paid for. You run with it, you do it yourself, fantastic. Best case scenario, we are able to build it for you. It's up and running in just a couple of weeks. You've got leads coming through, sales getting made, profit in your bank account, and you've got a reliable business that you're actually proud for. It's that simple. All right, that's it for today. And if this did hit home for you today, and if you are building a business that's meant to give you more money and more freedom, then I want you to be able to do two things before you go. One, hit subscribe and turn on notifications, because it'll be a bummer if you missed out on everything else to come. Number two, grab the link in the description and be able to book in your free demo so you can see the exact systems, the exact process, and you can be able to install it inside of your business. Because remember, this channel is for coaches and creators who want a daily income, simple systems, and to be able to take time off. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.